You may be looking to upgrade your M1 Pro MacBook Pro, or perhaps you may be thinking about trying out Apple Silicon for the first time and wondering if you should pick up one of these laptops. In this video, we'll be looking at performance, battery, value, and more. The M1 Pro MacBook Pro was one of the first MacBooks to release with Apple Silicon, and it set the bar for modern computing. It seemed like it was a massive blow to both Intel and AMD at the time when it came to mobile computing, since the M1 series promised performance and efficiency. Let me tell you, since coming from a 2017 MacBook Pro, this machine has really lived up to the hype and exceeded mine and a lot of others' expectations. I have the base model version with the 8-core CPU, 16GB of RAM, 512GB of storage, and it's in space grey. One thing myself and others love about this MacBook are the ports. This may sound a bit controversial, but Apple made a great decision by bringing back MagSafe. Love it or hate it, it freed up one more port, and of course you still can charge this machine via USB-C if you'd like. As a content creator, or even if you take a lot of family photos with a DSLR camera, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that SD card slot. Not only it's an SD card slot, but it also supports UHS II SDXC cards, which in simple terms, higher performance SD card for faster read and write speeds. It is also nice to have a full HDMI 2.0 port as well as 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports. The 14-inch has a 120Hz display refresh rate, liquid retina XDR display, which is beautiful and fantastic for watching videos, such as this segment from today's sponsor, ESR. Make sure you have enough juice with you when you're out and about. Introducing the ESR QI2 MagSlim 10,000 mAh MagSafe power bank. It comes equipped with QI2 certified 15-watt wireless charging for faster charging and heat dissipation. This means it can charge an iPhone 16 Pro from 0 to 50% in just 46 minutes. Plus, it has a built-in LED display which shows the battery status while charging your phone and being charged, which is quite useful. While your phone is being charged, you can sit back and enjoy watching some content thanks to the built-in kickstand. The magnet is quite strong, so you can have peace of mind. As you can see, the phone is still attached after a shake. ESR also has a 3-in-1 MagSafe charger, which is perfect for any desk setup or bedside cabinet. It has a fast 15-watt MagSafe charger like the MagSlim, and it comes equipped with patented CryoBoost cooling technology. This can keep your phone cool faster, making charging more efficient and increases battery longevity. The charger also comes with an optional detachable Apple Watch charging module. It comes with complete customer support such as dedicated setup video, FAQs, a comprehensive 12-month protection plan, lifetime support and personalized help. That's a lot of perks in one sentence. What are you waiting for? Get yours today using the link in the description. Thanks to ESR for sponsoring this portion of the video. We will come back to the exterior and features later on, but the main reason for me getting this machine was the performance, as well as the battery life and the keyboard, but mainly performance. I'd imagine you'd be looking to purchase this machine to do some more higher end tasks such as video editing, 3D rendering, app development, etc. Navigating macOS Sequoia and using this machine for basic tasks such as web browsing, word processing, watching videos, etc. is amazing as you'd expect. Opening apps is snappy, browsing the web is a breeze, and the display and speakers are fantastic. What I love about this machine is I can leave the lid closed for a few days and come back to it, and the battery life has gone down ever so slightly, let's just say around 5 to 10%. Thanks to the Apple Silicon and the 16GB of RAM, the Apple Intelligence features are supported and work well. However, the best thing about Apple Intelligence is the fact that all MacBooks have 16GB of RAM minimum, so I guess that's a good silver lining. In terms of more demanding tasks, I use DaVinci Resolve to edit my videos, which are usually recorded in 4K H.264 format and then exported in 4K H.265. I've noticed when scrubbing On the timeline it does lag quite a bit, but keep in mind I'm using the free version of DaVinci Resolve and not the Studio, so it may not be making use of those extra GPU cores. It's not a deal breaker, but it can be quite annoying at times. Video playback on the other hand is usually smooth unless you add some transitions or fusion effects, and that's where this machine tends to struggle a bit. For more context, let's take a look at some benchmarks. I understand benchmarks don't tell the whole picture, but they can be useful to know. Here's a comparison of the M1 Pro 8-core version next to the latest M4 Pro using Cinebench R24. Just a quick disclaimer, I don't own an M4 Pro MacBook Pro, but I asked my friend Johnny who does, and he ran the benchmarks on his machine, so shout out to Johnny. Just for fun, I also compared this machine with my desktop AMD Ryzen 5800X in my gaming PC. There seemed to be a year's difference in terms of the release date of the chips, but you can see the M1 Pro holds up very well in comparison, and there is marginal differences in the multi-core and single-core performance. Now, just for fun, I thought I would compare the GPU in this machine to an RTX 3080. And well, the RTX 3080 completely obliterated the M1 Pro chip. Although this was a desktop GPU, so it's not exactly a fair comparison. It is also worth noting that the built-in SSD is quite fast. I got around 5000 megabytes per second read and 550 megabytes per second write. This helps ensure that things stay snappy and is fantastic when it comes to tasks such as 4K video editing. It's worth noting that if you are looking to get an M2 Pro MacBook Pro, make sure you get the higher storage capacity because the SSDs in the lower storage are quite slow compared to this MacBook. I don't know why Apple made the decisions they did, but yeah, I just throw that out there, just in case you're also in the market for an M2 Pro as well. For the most part, I'm able to get a full day's use of this machine. I'd say this machine usually lasts around 8 to 12 hours with the display at 50% doing basic tasks such as word processing and web browsing, etc. Now, to put things into context, my battery health is on 85% and I have a 306 cycle count. When working at my desk, I have this machine docked. Recently, I've been using this machine as my main computer, therefore I use it in the docked mode, or as Apple like to call it, clamshell mode. I haven't really noticed much of a decrease in terms of battery life compared to when I first got the computer, although for obvious reasons it would have lasted longer when it was brand new. When it comes to thermals, I've rarely heard the fans kick in, even when editing 4K video on DaVinci Resolve and exporting it. I don't know how Apple manages it. The system is usually around 50 degrees Celsius when doing basic tasks, including when it's sitting in clamshell mode. This MacBook came out near the end of 2021, which means it's nearly 4 years old. Apple tends to support these machines for around 7 years, so it's basically halfway through its life cycle. The biggest issue I can personally see with these Apple Silicon chips is that there's no boot camp, and that's due to the fact that it's an ARM chip instead of an x86 chip, so you can't install Windows directly on here. However, there is a project out there called Asahi Linux. I think I said that right. This basically allows you to dual boot your Mac with Linux. This means that you could potentially get more longevity from your Mac once Apple stops supporting it. This of course depends on how well this project is being maintained, but it looks to be a good alternative. Of course, this is a bit more on the technical side and you'll be using a different operating system, so your creative apps will likely not work. It could potentially be a good option to consider though. As of right now, you can get this MacBook Pro for around £700 to £1,000 on places like eBay. If we take into context features such as extra ports, extra cooling, display and performance, it seems like a very good deal, especially for around £700, although I've seen some M2 MacBook Pros for around the same price, which would be a better deal. Just be mindful that the SSD could potentially be slower when purchasing a lower capacity model. So, who is this MacBook really for? Well, I'd say if you're a student or looking to get into content creation, or someone who values better display quality, speakers and ports, then this could be a great machine to get. There is also the M4 MacBook Air, which is quite difficult to beat for around the £1,000 price point. But you'd be giving up the ports, the fan, the better display quality, you'd be getting a slightly smaller display, and the memory bandwidth is a bit lower. If you don't really mind those things, then perhaps you might want to consider the M4 MacBook Air. I hope you found this video useful, and if you have, why not check out one of my previous videos here. Thanks for watching, enjoy the rest of your day, and God bless.